Alright, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the debut EP by Vånda called The Devouring Darkness. Before anyone says anything, no shit, green hair isn't black metal. It's just hair. Fuck off. Now let's get into this review. If you don't know who Vånda are, like I said, they're kind of a new band in the black metal genre. These guys are from Sweden, and they play more of a kind of melodic death slash thrashy version and a bit of first wavy sound for black metal. However, they do label themselves as just black metal. The members of the band are Runesvik on vocals, Holmbaum on guitar, Jolander on guitar, Eddie Wickland on drums, and P. Lundgren on bass. Now, as for the vocals, they are performed very well, consistent, and mostly decipherable for the most part. They are about a mid-level to just below high in the mix, but not too high, and they are easily, able to be picked out in the mix as well. As for the style of vocals, they're kind of like this raspy yell with a slight growl to it, sort of between a thrash and a death metal style and feel. Very enjoyable, kind of outside of the box feel and style for the black metal genre, i.e. not indecipherable shrieking. Now for the guitar, it's a little bit higher in the mix, pretty much on par with the vocals, maybe a little bit higher sometimes, but they mostly get higher than where the vocals sit when the vocals aren't performing, so that's good. Speaking of performing, the guitar is also performed really well. Excellent tone on this guitar as well, not too flat but also not too just insanely distorted. Very thrashy, great riffs, decent lead work, and some fairly memorable kind of tremolo work there as well. Has somewhat of an old school feel to the general writing style and sound. The guitarist also sneaks in some slightly doomy elements, like here and there throughout the EP, mostly prevalent in the last song, Devouring Darkness. As for the bass, it was low in the mix, but still detectable if you had headphones on. I would like to hear it to be slightly higher next time in a future release, because I really did enjoy what he did, the bassist did, and it was performed well and consistent. As what basses do, it helped boost the entire bass of the entire EP. Lundgren utilized moments to deviate from just mirroring the guitarist as well. He, from what I could hear, made out different bridge riffs and kind of slightly left field bass kind of noodly parts here and there as well. And definitely want to hear more of what he has to offer in the future with Vånda. For the drums, that's my boy Eddie Wickland. He was about mid-level to just below high level in the mix with the sound of the drums, and it was good pacing and good timing throughout. The double kicks were slightly quieter than what I would normally prefer, but they were also performed well. Like he utilized them really well, like the double kicks and like gallops and kind of groovier hooks. He kind of got into the pocket really well with his kicks. The nice snare sound really helped out the sound of the whole EP as well. He threw in some really quick, decent fills, and like I said, the enjoyable gallops and kind of grooves that he threw in there were really nice to hear. There was no showboating or overperforming with this EP or recording. He stuck to what the song needed. He didn't try to be super duper fancy. He didn't try to overpower anyone else. He had some well-decided tension builds within the song, and he also just catered to them really well. He just put in what needed to be there for the songs. So my favorite tracks on this EP were the second track, Black Dawn mostly. This was an outshining track for me. I really loved what they did with it. It's very thrashy, very bombastic, very full of energy. There's this part in the song where it just goes down quiet for a second and then it comes back and they're like, rise, and it was enough to actually like alert the dogs and the downstairs neighbors that are like, oh, as soon as they heard it. Like it was pretty cool. The other song that I really enjoyed on this was the song Nail the Coffin. That's track 3. Really cool as well. Not quite as bombastic and energized as Black Dawn, but also featured like some riffs in there that were really hooky, very kind of neat. They kind of took elements of the first track and mixed it a bit with what was going on in Black Dawn, and you kind of got what Nail the Coffin is. And not to like downplay Devouring Darkness, the title track. It was really good. I enjoyed the doomy elements. I like the slower, kind of creepier, haunting riffs they did in there. But Black Dawn and Nail the Coffin were definitely the outstanding tracks to me. My overall thoughts on this was it's a great new thrashy black metal band from Sweden. Something to definitely look out for in the future. I can't wait to hear what these guys sound like full tilt, and when they really let go. Hopefully that happens in the full length or whatever next release comes for Vånda. If this is just a taste, then definitely color me intrigued for sure. This is kind of like first wave black metal worship for the new millennia. Bathory mixed with some mayhem, maybe sprinkling some venom and some tormentor and maybe a little bit of hellhammer now and then. Really good stuff. There's nothing to not really like about this band. I highly recommend them to any old school metal fan or any new school metal fan who's looking for something that's just really well written and kind of takes you back a bit into the old days of black and thrashing death. But yeah, this is a great black metal band from Sweden. Highly recommend. I give this a 9 out of 10. The only possible thing I could think of that could be improved for the next release or whatever could, like I said, maybe the bass guitar could be slightly higher, because I enjoyed what I heard from Lundgren, and I can't wait to hear a little bit more distinctly and a little bit more clearly. Although I'm aware that it's black metal, and most black metal bands you don't really hear the bass, let alone sometimes even having a bass player, so I can understand if they choose not to do that. And the kicks, in my opinion, for the songs could be a little bit more distinguished as well, a little bit more louder in the mix, but not too much, like just a cunt hair higher, like just a little bit. And kind of a finishing note, maybe, if the vocalist wants to. It doesn't really make a difference to me one way or the other. I still really enjoyed what he did, but maybe perhaps some variety in the vocals could help make this be a like perfect 10 out of 10 instead of just doing the thrashy, yelly kind of screams that he does. Maybe try to attempt to do like those indecipherable black metal shrieks, or maybe even go on a lower note and like add some actual more deeper growls if you wanted to. I'd probably be more impressed with like the higher kind of black metal shrieks. And once again, this is only if they want to. This is just my humble suggestions. I still love the vocals and everything about this band, so definitely check them out. Really good stuff. This is The Devouring Darkness by Vånda. I'm Jesse Morgan, and I would buy this EP. For glory, for the rebellion, Slammer out.